All right, so back in the garage, things are always slow moving when you have other responsibilities like a job and a family. But I just want to give you a little hint, whether you're at this point or whether you're just have the carbs off to do some maintenance. Now I have FCR carburetors, so these are the intake piece for the back of the FCR carb. But even if you have the CV carbs, you can do the same trick. You can just find something that fits that's aluminum or maybe even plastic, or if you have spare carbs. So while you're waiting, these things can get hard over time. And these aren't too bad, but what I do is to make getting the carbs back on, whether it's the CVs or these Kian FCR carbs, in between times, I like to leave something in there. But if you forgot, you can use the same technique because everyone seems to struggle with getting them back in and whenever you're trying to get the airbox on. I use a little bit of silicone spray. Then I use a low heat on my heat gun. Oh, hold on, I forgot to pre-do my intake piece. So here's my intake. And I'll get some red rubber grease, just lightly. Trying not to get it on the inside part of it. And I'll rub it around the inside, the outside of it. And that little lip sometimes can be a little sharp. So like with anything, you need to keep things lubed up and loose. When you're trying to fit it, you won't have to force it and worry about cutting it. Just work it around, work it around. I use gloves, that way I don't burn myself by mistake. Oh yeah, it's getting more pliable now. There we go. Way more pliable. And then it should just slide right on in there. All right. And then just leave your spare carbs or your intake pieces or mock-ups that you can have fabbed anywhere. Leave them in there, keeps everything stretched out. And then come back and, if they're really old, rub a little red rubber grease around the outside because it helps preserve rubber. Or you can even use the silicone spray. I think I've seen other tricks. Don't quote me on how to do this, but there's something with, I think pine oil or something. But check around on your vintage stuff. But just want to give you a little hint on when you have these carbs off, these intakes can harden up and make it really difficult, and you don't want to sit there and try and use a lot of force. You guys will even get a tie-down strap and try and push them in there. If you're using that much force, you know you're about to split these intakes or take a chunk out of it, because that carb, whether it's these or the CVs, can have a sharp edge to them. So that's my helpful hint for today. Hopefully that works for you. See you next time in the garage.